Hi lovely people, so I've got your questions about roast dinners. I'm going to try and answer as many as possible, and I'm trying to answer them the best that I can. Okay, first one. Is it possible to make a roast dinner in advance and reheat it on the day so it's not dry and overcooked? Yes, of course it's possible. It depends on the cut. So the prime cuts for roast dinner are often like the loins, saddles, fillets, stuff like that. They're not so good reheated, but if you kind of think about it differently, things like shoulder of pork, shoulder of lamb, lamb shanks, things like that, you can like cook with love and care and time, let it cool down, and then the next day sort of pot roast it back up, glaze it, it'll be amazing. Even the simple, humble sort of tray bake of parboiled potatoes and some marinated chicken thighs or legs and parsnips. You can do like a little mini roast dinner in one tray for 2 people. Super romantic, like really affordable, and absolutely you can get it all ready the day before, and then when you get in, bang, 45 minutes, 200 degrees, 190 degrees, golden, crispy, bit of gravy, happy days. The best ideas for less leftover roast meat the next day. Okay, best ideas. Oh my lord, I mean, there's so many things you could do. Shepherd's pie, cottage pie. It depends on the cut of meat that you've got, but you can shred it and kind of wok fry it back up. And if you kind of kiss it with a little bit of sweetness and chili, so that, let's say for example, you know, chili jam, ginger, you know, you can kind of go into Asia, peanuts, noodles, rice. You can do beautiful sandwiches. I think a good sandwich is pretty underrated. My lord, amazing sort of ramen-y, brothy kind of dishes, beautiful. I have the smallest oven, and I'm trying to get a roast with veg in is hard, especially potatoes. How can I improve? Have a roast at least twice a week because it's cheaper. Okay, I don't know how small your oven is, darling. I mean, the standard oven size is 60 centimeters. To go smaller than that is kind of like those tiny little ones, and that's definitely a challenge. I would say timing, like first of all, like if you rest meat properly, so like people kind of get into the habit of cooking meat all the way through in the oven, when the reality is you've got to just cook it just under in the oven and then let it rest for half an hour, 40 minutes, right? And it carries on cooking. So if you put a thermometer in your meat, the temperature will go up internally when you take it out of the oven for the next half an hour, right? So it's still cooking. So that half an hour, 40 minutes, you can do cool things with. And you can do your potatoes and bits and pieces, this, that, and the other. So there are clever little tricks like that. Other things that I do is I play with the racks. So if I've got a chicken, if I've got a big one like that, just put some scissors or a knife down the back, open it out like a book, and then put it on the bars at the top, and then you can put another bar underneath and have your potatoes and have the fat all raining down on the potatoes, and then underneath that you can do veg and this, that, and the other, okay? So that's one way to look at it. But I admire your challenge. I kind of want to see a picture of your oven now. Show us a picture of your oven and let me have a look, please. How do I choose a piece of beef? What cut? What characteristics should I look for? What's the most affordable but still delicious? Value. Okay, Kimbo, first up, beef is really expensive. A steak, it's always pretty good to go for a sirloin, you know, then that's in the middle price-wise. Fillets up here, you know, rumps sort of, you know, a bit cheaper, but rumps are always solid. I would look for marbling, so that's the kind of little bits of fat in between. You don't want pure lean meat, that's going to be dry and tough as old boots. So marbling is definitely important. I think in this country the best thing we've got is grass. Grass-fed beef is incredibly nutritious. You get all the omega-3s from the grass, so much, much better in my opinion nutritionally and flavour-wise than grain and corn-fed beef. I think the best thing is also, like if you use a butcher, like a butcher's shop, they are really incentivized to look after you in good times and bad. All right, John, how's it going? You know, have a dialogue, have a conversation, build up a relationship, and if you're regular, they'll look after you. They'll have an interest in your family, okay? So it's a big question, this one. It's a big question. But, you know, ask for the name of the farm, where it came from. Look for marbling, use your instincts, and then you can kind of go into all kind of geeky conversations around, has it been hung, how long for, you know. What's the simplest way to keep everything warm in your roast dinner so that by the time you've dished it all up, you're not woofing it down just so it's still lukewarm? So look, here's the thing. The easy way and the historical way to guarantee that everything is piping hot and delicious is have warm plates. So I don't know where you're going to warm plates, whether it's an airing cupboard, a radiator, or just having it over a pan that's boiling some water to cook some greens or some veggies. But have warm plates, it really helps. Also, gravy. Boiling hot, literally boiling gravy going into a pre-warmed gravy jug saves all. Saves all. So actually, the idea of the roasting meat being piping hot is kind of nuts. It's completely unfounded. It's not part of history. Like it would always, you can taste it more if it's kind of room temperature, warm, okay? Then the gravy, heat. And as far as all your other veg is concerned, you can time that, you know, so you can have kind of your greens on the top, your roast potatoes and sort of like, you know, all your kind of al fornos and stuff in the oven. So my friend, it's all about timing and planning, hot plates and hot gravy. When you're cooking, do you ever play any kind of music? I do. It sets the tone of my meal and inspires me. What song or music would you like to cook to? Actually, way back, I actually did an album called Music to Cook By, which was a whole kind of host of my favourite tunes at the time. But if you go on Spotify, Jamie Oliver, actually all my playlists are up there, and I love to cook to music. I really do. Often, just as I'm about to enjoy it a lot, my wife will come and turn it down because the baby's gone to bed. Boo. But you know, sometimes I close the door and crank it up. Love it. Love it. Little glass of wine, happy days. Very happy days. I know what you mean. Okay, Yorkshire puddings, even without beef? Of course the answer is yes. The answer is yes. The classic Yorkshire pudding was always generic with any meat. And actually was never eaten with the meat. Historically, that would come out, the Yorkshire pudding would come out first with the gravy to fill up really hungry people that normally in those days would have been like working hard. Fill them up and then the meat would come out with the veggies and a little bit more gravy and that will be any kind of meat. So look, go for it. But also in the old days, you know, back in the day, they used to put jam on the Yorkshire puddings as well. So I say Yorkshire puddings are like one of the best inventions ever. I particularly like Yorkshire puddings, fresh from the oven with smoked salmon and lemon and horseradish creme fraiche. Come on!